pop culture. Everything is permitted.
It's The Tonight Show, hosted by Julian Brown, Matt Ruppert, and Brittany Tomes. I wish I had like the piped-in crowd music and all the...
Play me off, Paul!
Tonight, we talk Snowpiercer. No.
Special guest. Not who you expect.
Not who you expect. Welcome to episode 93 of Everything is Permitted here at the OG EIP studio, a.k.a. not the kitchen, but makeshift studio in a TV room.
We made it work.
Because the new table doesn't work for the equipment. Like you can't do these on it. So
son of a bitch.
It's too high quality of a table.
This is actually this is a little bit like of a chill space. Like me and Brittany are on a couch. Matt's all professional in a chair.
I threw a star at him.
I
was like, shuriken, go.
Nothing but professionals here.
Yes.
Oh man, if you're wondering why we're recording so late at night, this is actually the Tonight Show hours. It's because Snowpiercer season 2 just wrapped up. Oh boy.
Oh yes.
That was a bit intense and crazy. We're going to get to that. But this week, like I just said, 2 episodes into Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then obviously the Snowpiercer finale. On Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky and Sam have now finally kind of hesitantly teamed up, and the new Captain America, John Walker, is just as punchable as ever. So
doubly punchable.
Oh my god.
Doubly punchable.
Every episode he'll get a little, like, another times of punchable.
Yeah, exactly.
So episode 3 times as punchable.
So we'll be breaking episode 2 down and seeing where this show is going. Also, the battle for Snowpiercer once again comes to a head on the 2 hours of just madness season 2 finale. Who came out on top? Wilford or Layton? And how are the people on the train doing? Because you kind of didn't see a lot of them. We're going to figure it all out. And before we get into both of those awesome episodes of television, we're also going to break down the new Suicide Squad trailer, which just dropped. Because, Suicide Squad. You have to. We'll get to that. So it is the late show edition of Everything is Permitted. Let's get right to it before we get into the bulk, the good stuff. Brittany, how can people go ahead and support our show and keep us going on these late nights?
If you want to keep the train going, you'll head over to everythingispermitted.com, hit our drop-down tab, select Patreon, and it'll shoot you over to our Patreon page. There you can select either $2 a month or $5 a month tiers to support our show. Either way, you get awesome content, you can get some cool stickers, you get to tell us what's going on, what you'd like to hear on the show, and yeah, you just get to be a part of our awesome community. You also get shout-outs. The beginning of the episode, and Julian's taking selfies, so I posed while I was talking. Yeah, I think that's basically everything. If you're already listening to us and you're like our show, and you aren't already giving us money, we still love you. But if you want to give us a little bit, it just helps us do stuff.
We do still love you. It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
No, it's true.
I will always love you.
How many seasons are we in now, guys? We're in season 4, and the Roadcaster has finally had its first big nick. It got Sharpied on, and it was very hard to come off.
Man, I wonder who did that.
It was me. I'm not gonna.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not gonna deny it. It happened. Hey, Matt, if people can't support our show financially, how can they go ahead and support us by other means?
By going to wherever you listen to Everything is Permitted and give us a like, a thumbs up, a 5-star review, a subscribe, whatever. We appreciate all of it.
Indeed we do. And I'm going to go ahead and do the thank yous this week, because why not? I'm going to say thank you to our awesome EIP VIPs, Billy Peets, Heather Repper, Rob Migliaccio, Michael Cox, Nikki Veazey, Matt Moore, Cabria Wimbush, Rob Carter, Kyle and Connor, the McClinton brothers, and Nick Castellano. Thank you guys. You rock. Rock. What has it?
I just started thinking
Wow.
I started thinking about Snowpiercer again, and I got sad.
Brittany's staring off into the distance.
I'm okay.
Well, I don't know if
For
she'll
now.
be okay later. We'll see. Any rants and raves this week, folks?
Rants. There's a lot of, I don't know. The pandemic happened, and a lot of shows weren't happening, and now they're all happening again. So it's there's a lot happening, guys. A lot of good programs. I finally caught up on Resident Alien, which Matt was telling us to watch, and it's so good. And I feel like I always forget by the time we reach like Sundays and stuff to be like, what is my rant and rave this week? So 2 shows. Resident Alien, really good, funny, sci-fi. If you like Alan Tudyk, you're going to love it. Boom. And then 2, Generation, which is on HBO Max. Really good. Like, I don't like dramas a lot, but it's good. It's funny, it's interesting. And like, I think it's probably the most realistic teenagers, at least current now teenagers, that's been shown on a show. And they're all like queer and going through like crazy stuff. And I'm just like, what is going on? But yeah, they get me every Thursday. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit, indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh Ruth.
Shit.
Oh Ruth.
Ruthless.
Ruthless.
When shit hits the fan, literally.
Okay,
Oh.
so I literally thought about this because I saw it earlier today, and it is something I wanted to rant about. So I'm in a Facebook group of gamers and stuff like that, and normally people post things like, "Hey, who plays Xbox?" Like, give me your screen names, who plays this game, so on and so forth. But the last few days, at least since I've been in the group, there have been a lot of dudes posting things like, I want a game with girls and stuff
God.
like that. Thirsty, sad.
Weird. The pandemic's really getting to some people.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think it's pandemic. They're
Just being creeps.
It's just being creeps. And it's got to the point where I debated either leaving the group or just start replying to all, because I mean, obviously these dudes get slammed by, like, of course, the numerous women in the group as well as some of the men.
Well, rightly so. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
obviously. And it's so ridiculous how terrible these dudes sound. I said people, but it's guys, because there are no women who are like, I really want a game with some guys. But these guys, they're so terrible sounding, and it's just, rather than just game with people and just find out who you get along with and everything, this whole thirsty, like, oh, I want a game with a girl and COD and stuff, like, that's, God, you guys sound so sad.
Half of us pretend to be guys when we play online, and we don't put our mics on so you don't talk to us.
And some of the women have actually said that,
Yeah.
and they like how they've been treated and stuff like that by gaming communities. And this is not exclusive to any console or anything. Like, it's across the board.
It's not
Like,
a console exclusive.
I know, right?
I'm going to say this right now. I've played Warzone with girls that are 10 times better than some of the fuckhead dudes I've played with. So just people need to shut the fuck up, and like, gaming is for everybody. Stop being like, get out of the fucking basement.
Yeah, but
just be respectful.
This whole thirsting thing, it's really sad and pathetic. It's just, you guys, like, if you're listening to us and you are thinking about posting something like that, don't, because it looks so sad and pathetic when you do.
Just use eHarmony like everybody else. Or whatever the kids do these days. Grindr, Tinder, all the ers, really.
Oh, God.
Boy.
Swipe up, down, left, right. Whatever you're into.
Whatever.
Diagonal, maybe. Maybe they'll do the thing where you tap phones. I don't know.
Oh, is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Mm.
I was thinking like Pokemon when you transfer. Anyway.
Anywho, I don't know if I have a rant or rave this week. Not a lot. It's been like crazy with the kids this week, and I could rant about kids, but ain't no one want to hear that shit.
He's like, it's too late.
No, it is. I'm not going to rant or rave this week. I think we should just move on because we have a lot to talk about. So if that's about it, very early, it's time for
The Permitted Minute, 7 points long.
The permitted minute.
It's the permitted minute, and we're gonna go here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Gata, start the clock.
Set photos of Netflix's Witcher series seems to confirm that the Wild Hunt will be a major part of the show's second season.
Disney has confirmed that production is about to begin on Obi-Wan after it was originally suspended for both COVID and story concerns. Disney also released an image with the show's main cast. Hello there.
With the cast fully fleshed out and the Justice Society ready for action, we now have a release date for DC's Black Adam starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We will see the hero come to screen on July 29th, 2022.
Zack Snyder's Justice League keeps making headlines. The film is Canada's most streamed title on Crave.
Banking on one of the most beautiful games to ever be put on PlayStation, Sony is now prepping a Ghost of Tsushima film with John Wick's Chad Stahelski at the helm.
Heading back to DC and Black Adam, we got exciting news earlier this week that Pierce Brosnan himself will be taking on the role of Dr. Fate.
Finally, Black Widow has yet another delay, but this time a definitive release date with the film dropping in theaters July 9th, as well as the same day on Disney Plus Premier Access.
Talk to your Dr. Phone.
Talk to your,
Alexa today.
talk to your doctor if diloxifam
We had
is right
5
for you.
seconds left.
Okay,
Matt
good.
came in clutch
That's
at the end
right.
there.
I know when I heard you go, and then you paused.
I had to micro machine man the end there. Okay,
I was going to be
Micro
like
Machine's
Julian, voice control and breath control comes before you record.
Oh my god. Oh,
He's like, gotta
baking.
expand.
Fucking typos.
Baking with Tsushima.
I noticed that typo, but I thought about saying something, but I'm like, nah, somebody's gonna see it.
It wouldn't be a Julian outline without.
I also thought it
typos
was
in
like backing
Oh,
on.
yeah.
So I was just like, oh, that's close enough. I don't have to. Yeah, my bad.
You
I should have
suck.
taken it.
You
Well,
suck.
I saw the typo earlier when I read 2, but I was like, that's close enough to the word. We'll be fine.
No.
Word.
Oh god. Oh man. All right, guys. Let's get into the Suicide Squad trailer breakdown. This is now coming from James Gunn, who after this is going to go helm Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So we also have that to look forward to. But right now we're talking about the Suicide Squad. Did you guys all enjoy the trailer?
So I know I still say that the original Suicide Squad movies kind of still put a bad taste in my mouth, and I know that's not fair to this movie because I'm not hype yet about this movie.
That's fair. Okay.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Karen tends to have like a really good gauge for these things, and she just watched Birds of Prey for the first time with me, and she was like, that was fucking awesome. I loved it. And then I sent her the trailer at work, and she was like, now see, that looks awesome. Why couldn't they do that the first time? So if she thinks it looks awesome, then that's a good sign. So
It's gonna be good.
I think it's going to be good.
It's
James,
gonna be good.
I don't know what button I'm going to
He
press.
can't James
it's going to
me
be
too
random.
fast.
Let's see. Well, not that, but oh
Let her talk. Another Melanie taken too soon.
Oh man,
Mother of God.
it's the late show, folks. It's going to go off the rails.
that's right.
Let's
It's
get
no joke. You pierced my heart.
Rapid fire.
I think he trained for that. Why you have to be so ruthless?
Well, the 10-car pirate train is ruthless. So,
Oh, I hope she'll be okay.
You guys are getting into Snowpiercer though. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So
Hook,
this
line,
is-
and stab him in the side.
We're not talking about a train right now. We're talking about a bus full of ex-cons and supervillains. And it is the Suicide Squad bus, which is pulling up to do some cool things.
Hey,
Apparently,
we're ex-con goers. Back when cons were a thing.
apparently I didn't know, but like I guess the Suicide Squad bus is a thing. I don't know.
I mean, how else are you and your con friends going to get somewhere? Some of you aren't allowed to drive.
in a really shitty bus. We get our first look at Idris Elba's Bloodsport, who kind of really shines in this trailer too. He's got some good one-liners in there. It's Idris Elba. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
He'll give him the people's Idris elbow.
Oh my God.
Dude, ices and Care Bears were a bad idea.
Yep.
I said Care Bears.
About to say,
but they
did
were
you say
gummy
Care
bears.
Bears?
I did. They had an
Julian
A on
hit me
them.
with the
Man,
Care Bear
you-
stare
you-
earlier. He was like,
It did. And then we also get our first looks at Peacemaker. Rick Flag is back from the first movie, and then our boy King Shark.
I'm the most excited for King Shark.
I'm the most.
He's so good in the Harley Quinn animated show.
Yes, and I can't separate the two because I'm like he's not quite the Harley Quinn King Shark. Which
I'm
I really
also
love.
really excited for John Cena as Peacemaker because a lot of people know just John Cena from wrestling and how he's kind of like the goody and like eat your vitamins and take your muscle stuff and blah blah blah. And I'm a role model and he's talking about eating a bag of dicks
I
in the
used to
trailer.
use him to teach kids in Spanish how to say dinner because it's Cena. It means dinner. So I'd put a picture of John Cena and they're like, do, 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 do. Anyway, they loved it.
Why would you put like a blank picture up though?
Exactly.
You can't see me, but time is now. We also learned in the trailer that Harley has been captured because, Harley getting into trouble because it's Harley. Amanda Waller returns from the first film, so Viola Davis reprising the role. So a lot of characters who were in the shitty first movie reprising their roles for what's hopefully going to be the very good second movie. Do you like that they kept some of the same cast members?
Yeah.
And Viola Davis was pretty much dead on. Obviously, Margot Robbie is the live action Harley Quinn, and And I mean, what's the? I can't remember the dude's name. Flag, is it?
Oh, Rick Flag. Rick
I
Flag.
love that actor.
I mean,
Cool.
I'm sure he's a decent guy, but I didn't care about his character. So that was just when I was kind of like,
Now,
sure,
he,
fine,
now he has
whatever.
a print tee, so you know he's up to shenanigans.
Yeah, right. He's
Before
not.
he was like always wearing camo, was like my head's
I'm a
very,
soldier man.
I'm very shaved on the side, thing on the top, like Matt's haircut, but less cool. And he was like, "Rah, rah, rah, Rick. Rah, rah, rah."
Apparently, there's a computer when Amanda's talking to the team, and there's a team 2 in a plane somewhere, so it's going to be like a double team thing.
There's always so many of them.
Yeah, there's so many.
That's why I thought it was funny when they first released the cast thing, and we were talking about it, and you're like, "Who are half these characters?" I was like, "It doesn't matter."
It doesn't matter. Like half of them are going
In
to
the
die in
comics,
the first
they're
5
just
minutes.
like, "Here's the core group," and then there'll be random times where they're just like, here's another Suicide Squad." Because honestly, if they're in Arkham or any other like Bellevue, we'll just slap a collar on them, and they'll fight for us.
Yep.
Valid.
You see Rick Flag storming a government building. I should just say real quick thank you to Screen Rant, who always does a really good job with these trailer breakdowns, which I'm reading off the screen
Remember
right
the
now.
last time people stormed a government building with flags?
Oh God.
Wow, you took it there. You really
This is
took
a
it there.
dictatorship.
And then finally, we get the shot of Harley with a bloody nose. And the headline for this is great. It says, Harley doesn't need a man's help. Because it's true, because she already broke out.
It's a man's world.
Michael Rooker, savant, showing his skills. You can't have a James Gunn movie without Michael Rooker, I guess.
So I'm trying to think about this.
Ain't your daddy boy.
Is James Gunn is the first director to go both DC and Marvel, or has somebody else already blazed that trail?
Joss Whedon.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
Well, he's gonna do better than that.
But I mean,
That's a very low bar to clear on the DC
Matt,
side.
Matt, it's okay. You don't have to mention his name anymore. That movie doesn't exist anymore.
You had a chance to say we didn't have to mention him.
It's gone. Long live the Snyderverse.
It's a nightmare that will forever haunt
His
me.
Joss is our gun.
No.
His loss is our game. I tried so hard.
No, that one.
You know
didn't.
what?
By the way, I'm signal boosting. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Bum, bum,
Bum, bum, bum. Let's move on. Peter Davidson, who is in, again, every single James Gunn project. Oh, no, not every. I'm thinking of his brother. Sean Gunn is in every one of his projects.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson's the guy from SNL.
Yes, he is. He's playing Blackguard, who I know nothing about. Sean Gunn, there he is, playing Weasel.
He's always playing
He's
a
always
Weasley
played a
character.
Weasley. Fuck. I love it.
The most he branched out was like Gilmore Girls, and then after that, he's been the same person.
And of course, it would not be the Suicide Squad if you did not have the explosive injected into said Suicide Squad member's neck. Because
It's like getting matching tattoos.
it is. Except if this one goes off, it makes your head go boom.
Guys, you want to get matching bombs in case we ever miss recording on a Sunday again?
Let's do it. I can't
man.
go through
No.
this again with icy.
I'm sorry.
It's icy Brit.
Icy Bob.
It's icy.
I see.
I was about to say we seem so energized right now. I was like, is it just because we're recording later? But it's also I got us all ices, and we just got hyped after watching a finale. So,
We did.
and it's not like Sunday we all rolling out of bed like, oh.
I don't know why they decided to put this as one of like the highlights of the trailer, but they did From the Horribly Beautiful Mind of James Gunn, like in front of a giant American flag and the squad there. I'm like,
The slow motion walk
yeah,
towards the camera.
exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very Zack
I think
Snyder.
because it's like mimicking the slow walk from the trailer of Guardians of the Galaxy, so people are like, "Oh yeah, I
it's
liked that
James
movie.
Gunn, yeah.
Oh yeah, I should watch this."
I forget because years ago it was the director's commentary of Blade 2. Guillermo del Toro said something about like when the entire squad walks in slow motion. I forget what he called it. He goes like, anytime you have a squad movie, they all got to do that at some point.
Yep.
He goes, and here's our part.
How else are you gonna know they're a squad and they're finally united?
They're finally working together.
I have so many hairs on me.
Yep. Well, this is a dog
It's like
filled house.
my cat hair, and then I came here and there's dog hair, and then I got long hair. It's just a lot of hair.
Bad hair day.
Probably.
Moving on. Jai Courtney returns as Captain Boomerang.
Boomerang.
And then Nathan Fillion's TDK. I know
Call it
nothing
a
about him.
comeback.
But do you know anything about TDK? Brittany?
TDK, like the Donkey.
The Dark
Kong.
Knight.
I was gonna say the Donkey Kong.
I'm just excited that Nathan
TDK exists.
he exists.
That's all I know.
And he's being played by Nathan Fillion, so it can't be a bad role. I mean,
It's usually not.
It's usually not.
Statistically
I mean,
speaking.
it's Nathan Fillion. Come on.
one of the things we saw when they did the whole DC universe, the Superdome, whatever the fuck they call that back over-
Thunderdome.
the Thunderdome. You see Harley with a big fucking bazooka.
Yes.
I mean, Harley with a bazooka just means good things are going to happen always. Nom nom. Oh, dude, this is like the moment of the entire fucking trailer. King Shark just biting a dude in half. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here. How fucking excited are we that Sylvester Stallone, Philly's own Rocky, is doing the voice of King Shark?
I will say I was not expecting it.
No, me neither.
I like it.
Yeah, and I wasn't either. But also, I kind of wish that the God, I can't think of the actor's name. Is it Anthony Michael Williams who voices King Shark on Harley Quinn? I can't. God, it's gonna bother me now.
I haven't watched the show in a while.
Yeah, same here. It's gonna bother me because I've
throw me
heard
off
him in
and I
so
was
many
like,
things.
wait, it's not a black guy playing King Shark. But
If it was gonna be anybody though, Stallone,
Stallone.
rocking it. And then Boss Logic being the man,
Rocky, yeah.
put King Shark in the Rocky shorts and the gloves. I was like, I love you, Boss Logic.
I love how every week there's some new Boss Logic thing that you keep sharing. You're just like, Boss Logic, add it again. And I'm
I
like,
give that
he's
guy my
thriving.
money. He is. I buy his prints. He does great artwork. The Suicide Squad briefing goes well because they're planning and everybody's like, nah, we're just fucked. We're going to die. And I think Bloodsport just goes, oh, for fuck's sake. Or something along those lines.
That's why all the posters say, like,
don't get
too
attached. Yeah, don't get
It's
attached.
just like, you know how there's 80 characters in this film? More are going to die than died in Endgame. That's right. Half of the population got snapped. So.
Yep. We get our first look at Peter Capaldi's Thinker, and that's actually a pretty funny bit.
He's a thinker.
He is a thinker. I like Harley being Harley in that scene so much. The military assemble. I'm gonna skip that.
Military play.
Bloodsport talking about the bag of dicks, and John Cena's like, if America told me to eat a bag of dicks off the floor, I'd eat a giant bag of dicks.
If they had a whole beach full
Yeah,
of dicks,
dicks.
I would
I
eat
would-
every
every
single
single
one.
one.
Like, that line, I was like, sold. John Cena, you already Oscar worthy.
Jesus,
Toxic masculinity gone.
that'll be his clip they play when he wins the Oscar.
Exactly. And
Did
they'll
you
be
see-
like, how many dicks
Did
would
you guys
eat
see
for an Oscar?
Blockers?
No,
Yeah.
Heather watched it. She said it wasn't that.
I thought
good.
it was hilarious. He's really funny in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it a hacker movie?
No, it's about like parents who
And
send
then-
their kids to
yeah.
prom, and like all the kids make a sex pact, and it's like the parents.
Oh, I remember the trailer for that.
Yeah,
It's
I remember
actually
the
really
trailer.
funny. I liked it a lot. A little bit of nightclub relaxation. There's a building collapse. Alice Braga as Sol Soria, who I don't know anything about. Again, she's a good actress though. Bloodsport attacks Amanda Waller. Plot twist because Idris Elba seems
Is
like
she a big baller?
well, Idris Elba's character seems kind of like maybe the sanest of them. So the fact that he would go after Waller,
That just proves he's the most sane. Because
good point.
you know, straight up,
point.
He's like, Amanda Waller is
Is
a
fucking psycho.
insane.
Yeah, good point.
In a great way, though.
Yes.
She's a boss ass bitch. HBIC.
First we see King Shark eat somebody, and then we see him rip somebody in half because King Shark's going to be the star of this movie, even if he's not.
No,
he
yeah,
will be.
it's gonna be the King Shark show.
It is. You see Harley on the attack because we love Harley. Moving right along. Okay. The big fucking reveal. Starro.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Yeah, the Starro of the show. The true Starro. But they already kind of low-key did it a little bit in Justice League, too. When they put that device on the Atlantean's
yeah,
face.
yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
why is it shaped like Starro? So I know that was just like, ooh, Zack Snyder trying to be like, ooh, look at me. But then this one I was like, yeah, okay, it's a giant kaiju, but it's a giant starfish. It's fucking Starro.
This is the only movie that could get away with doing Starro, right?
Well, it's like the game they're coming out with, the Suicide
Yeah.
Squad game. The Justice League gets taken over by Starro, and they're all evil,
Yep.
and they're like, fuck, we got to kill the Justice League. And I'm
I
like,
can't wait for that fucking game.
amazing.
I'm gonna be very curious how that game's gonna work. I'm
I
looking
hope it's
forward to
good.
it. I'm
It
hoping
looks
it's good.
good.
Yeah. I'm a little sad that Gotham Knights got delayed a little bit.
Yeah,
The-
but
like
that's because
2022,
all the
isn't it?
flipping scenes were too cool. I have so many gifs of them, and I'm like, of course I'm not going to get anything else.
Right. I guess we talked about this earlier. There's two different squads. This is a headline of the other Suicide Squad lining up. It looks like Bloodsport, maybe Rick Flag, Harley, King Shark, maybe
Two sides.
Peacemaker, Polka Dot Man. Yeah.
Oh, Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man is the dude from Ant-Man that annoys us, right? The quote Russian one, right?
No, Polka Dot. He's
Isn't
he's
he?
DC, so he wouldn't be an Ant-Man.
No, I mean like the dude that is
Oh,
in
yeah.
the movie
The
Ant-Man.
actor,
That's
okay.
like the annoying, like stereotypical Russian one that they got rid of like in the second movie or like lowered
I
his
don't
lines.
know.
I think it's the same actor.
And then we end this lovely, lovely trailer, which just looks so awesome, with Harley in the rain saying how much she loves the rain because it's like angels splooging all over us.
Yep.
Oh,
And that's how
Harley.
you know, definitely James Gunn.
Definitely James
Yeah.
Gunn.
Because the Jackson Pollock painting, it's just that same joke. Just that same joke.
Yep. And that is the Suicide Squad trailer. So I will just ask the big question. Can James Gunn deliver on the squad?
I think he already has with the trailer, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely possible. I'm not going to say the Suicide Squad, the franchise, is completely unsalvageable. And if anybody's going to make a fun kind of squad buddy comedy type thing, it's James Gunn has proven that he can do it. So,
Indeed.
He's the director to do it.
He is. And then, were you excited more for the film after seeing the trailer or before? Did the trailer make you a little bit more nervous, or are you like, okay, I got the good hype going now?
I mean, I want to see it.
Yeah.
The trailer isn't like mind blowing that I'm like, I need to see it right now, but I'm just like, oh, cool. That's still happening. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So that's all I needed.
yeah, I wasn't particularly excited before, and the trailer, got me a little interested in it. So, I mean, obviously, I was going to see it no matter what, even if I thought it was probably going to be hot garbage, because obviously we do this podcast. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, but also
We're the hottest garbage out there, sir.
I know, but also the reason that I'm not like so hyped for this movie is also because most of these characters, other than like a handful, I don't know or really care about. So it's just like,
I work in a comic book store and I don't care about 80% of this cast. I'm just like, cool. We'll see who lives.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. This thing is sinking on me. I'm trying to like relax in this shitty seat. I don't know if I'll be able to. I think I still sound okay.
I feel like
right?
we're at like this is like a
it's
legit
going to be
talk
resting
show
on your
now.
chest eventually.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? It's going to make me sad and have to sit up.
You look like a late night host who like invites you to sit on his couch and then you sink down too low and you're just like, oh, I do the whole interview at this angle. It looks real nice.
That's what I was going for.
Or it's just like some dude's just like, okay.
You're like Jimmy Kimmel.
talk
Shut up
about
already.
When we get back from break. Oh man. All right, guys. I'm actually going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop here because I had Falcon and Winter Soldier first, but I feel like we have to get Snowpiercer.
We gotta pierce the snow.
I feel like we have to get it off our chest. So I'm just gonna bring it back to our girl here real quick. It is time for our Snowpiercer season finale of season 2 review, and Brittany's gonna cry because this might be the last time we hear this voice.
Attention, Snowpiercer passengers.
Hear the soft rumble in the background. Back when the train was alive and thriving. We were so young then in season 1.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
It's been so long.
84 cars later.
Brittany's got her hands in her face, which means I'm gonna make her go first here.
I
Brittany,
just feel like I have to keep rubbing my face. It feels weird right now.
your thoughts on the finale of season 2?
Loved it. I loved hanging out and watching it together. I thought the 2 episodes were like, compared to how the last season, like the build up in that final 2 episodes was, I felt like this was more exciting, like gripping and like, what the fuck? What the heck? What's going to happen? How are they going to end this? Like the whole time. And then like the boom moment happens. And while last year's was like a hype boom moment, we were like, oh shit. Oh shit. This one's like, oh shit. And we kind of knew because this whole season's been like, ah, shit. But yeah. We'll see though. Maybe it's vague enough that she's still alive.
So
But I won't let myself get hopeful.
Should we just dive into that because we're obviously going to?
I think that's the biggest thing that we're going to talk about.
We gotta talk about the Melanie
Let's
in the
get to the
room.
biggest thing, and obviously Brittany already spoiled it, but this is your last spoiler warning. If you have not watched the finale yet, since
Get off
We
the train.
technically already
now.
spoiled it earlier this episode we recorded.
get off the train, get frozen, and we'll thaw you when you need to come back and listen once you've watched. So, Melanie died. Well,
That's what
Matt and I are in agreement that we don't think she's dead, but Brittany, I
Brittany's
believe.
in denial right now. So that's not fair. Brittany's okay with it at the moment, but she's okay with a lot of things at the moment. And then later is like, it's not okay.
I know Julie and I are in very much agreement about this. I'm fine with them killing Melanie, the character, but don't do an off screen. She just walks into the white and we never see her again, because that's a shitty way for such a great character to go. You got to give her something more dignified. So that's why, and I'm also very much of the I don't know if it's comic book logic or it's like, I didn't see a body, so they're not
Yeah,
dead.
that's always it. It's like the
So-
show don't tell thing, and she's just telling right now. So you're like,
This
show me the body.
This season has been especially just very like
Jennifer Connelly is.
Well, Jennifer Connelly less, but it's
Ruthful and Jennifer Connelly.
there's been a
less.
lot of mystery surrounding Melanie because Jennifer Connelly's been very hush hush about her role. The creators and the writers have been very hush hush. She was only in 2 episodes this season.
I think it was a couple more.
3 or 4.
Yeah, I want to say it was 3
Okay,
or 4.
3 or 4.
Because it takes like the 3rd episode for her to leave, and then she gets the 1 episode, and you're like,
But I mean, like, this is not, she's just not in the season. And no one said anything about, like, well, we had a conflict. She wanted more money. She wasn't pregnant. We know she was filming another movie. But for her to just disappear and write that note, and I just don't think that she's dead, because you don't kill off a character like that and not, like Matt said, and not show it. So, you know, they added all these little hints this season, like the hot spring. I have a very strong theory. I think it's a strong theory that those are very deep hot springs. I think they go somewhere, and I think there's people, and I think Melanie is with those people, and she's going to find a way to make contact, because you don't do that to this character who's been,
you don't hot spring that upon us.
well,
the last
you know, like this is the person who's been on all the marketing alongside David Diggs. So you don't just do an off-screen death for a character of her importance. So I don't think that we've seen the last of her by a long
But she
shot.
said she ate all the rats.
And then she went,
And
and then
then-
she went down the spring and found more rats and people and a society. I think that's it. It's a big fucking mountain.
She's like, I'm 8 steps ahead of you. I'm going to write this so Wilfred's going to think I'm dead. And then plot twist, bitch. Rats all the way down.
But I mean, right? It's not
Yeah.
out of the realm of possibility.
But it's hard because thematically it would make sense in the show for her to die, getting the information and like saving humanity in this way. Because like I said to Matt earlier, I was like, even though we know based on the flashbacks that her taking the train has always been out of a good thing, her running the train, it did result in a lot of misery for a lot of people at first before like the revolution happened and then Wilfred came along or whatever. So it's like her redemption arc, the same way that Ruth is having one, where it's like you see her do all the selfless stuff she does, and she's going out this way to then provide this hope for humanity. And she knows that her daughter loves her now, and everything's like good. But there's that part of you that's like, but Melanie is a fighter, she's a survivor. Like if there's the barest inkling of a chance she could be with her daughter, like, and actually have a life with her, she'd do it. So
I googled it because Jennifer Connelly apparently is being kind of coy about whether or not her character is actually. She said
she's always coy.
I know, but also I do think that, because part of me is curious about, is she filming something else or whatever, and she needs to be away from Snowpiercer for a while, because this is the way that you can do it, where you can quote kill her character, and then, you know, maybe she's out for most of or all of season 3, and then after that you can bring her back and you can do the hand wave, like, you know, hot springs or some other magic about how she survived.
What if the oubliette reference was on purpose? And that's why they're doing it, so it makes it seem like she's going to die, but she's really not dead because she just goes to a forgotten place. You're going to forget about her as a character,
But I mean,
and then she'll come back.
guys, we do this podcast for a reason. We're all hardcore sci-fi and fantasy nerds.
Yes.
It's rule number
You
1.
have to see the body.
If you don't see the body, the person is not dead. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
No matter what they say.
No, I mean it's just that is the cardinal rule.
I mean, it'd be like a Game of Thrones character, you know, before the show became garbage.
Jon Snow walked into the...
There's a great fucking example of this right now. It's Hollywood can't help themselves with this shit. It's going on in Batwoman right now, right? Like Ruby Rose leaves. They get who plays her now?
Javicia...
Something.
Leslie? No.
And the creators and Greg Berlanti and everyone were like, we're not recasting Kate Kane. It's not happening.
Whoops.
Just got recast. Like they cannot help themselves after saying she was dead. Melanie's alive. No reason to be sad, Brit.
Hashtag Melanie's alive. I'm not sad. I like when it happened, I was like, oh shit, like that's such a good kind of ending for her. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't, because Melanie's always up to shenanigans. I feel like she's still the only person that's really Wilfred's equal.
Yeah, remember.
Because I know they just like took the train. Well, kind of took.
Well,
some of the
remember,
train
she's a fucking genius, and you also have to remember now they're down another engineer. Melanie needs to, like, what are they going to do? Like, they're going to start running out of people who can run the train. Killing off Melanie is not exactly.
It's hard because now it's like, But that drives Alex to be that, to literally replace her mother and be like Wilfred's equal on the train.
And I will say, if Melanie is actually dead, if she is
it does a
actually
lot for
dead,
Alex, yeah.
it does, and I will be happy with her taking that role. But I almost wish in that situation, even if it's like a 2-second flashback, they get a shot of Jennifer Connelly like being a frozen statue.
Or the next time they loop around, the snow's
There's
melted a little bit. You just see her like
It's a frozen suit out in the tundra.
And they put like a plaque.
she's holding like a picture of her daughter.
Yeah.
Some dramatic
that'd
shit.
be
Just show
something.
me her face. Just show me her face.
It's rule number 1. This is a science fiction show. She's not dead.
Show me one eye.
Show me a body.
Something.
Show me an arm.
I'll take a finger.
show
I'll
us-
take a Jennifer Connelly finger.
Show us some Connolly.
I'm so lonely.
What else did we like about this, guys? I didn't have a lot of notes, obviously, because we're live reacting to this. I mean,
once again, Sean Bean as well. It shows he's a fantastic addition to the show. And I'm still not a fan of the LJ character.
Fuck her.
Yeah, I know she's supposed to be an annoying, bratty villain character and whatnot.
If we were in England, I would use the C word to describe her because
basically is.
that's what she is.
The fact that even Wilfred was like, yo, so you shot those dudes' dicks off? Like, you're culpable of that. Why do I need you? I was just like, kill her now. Kill her now. It's good.
Yeah, and then of course, like her and the boy, like her character and even the boyfriend character to me right now are the most superfluous characters.
so
on the
That
show.
piano scene threw me the fuck off.
Yeah, what the fuck? That was so weird because he looks at him and says, I brought my head of janitorial from my buildings in New York, so why should I leave you in charge of that? And he gets up and starts playing a song on the piano,
He
which
just wanted to prove he would be useful. He's like, at least I can entertain.
yeah, but at the same time though, I even said it when we were watching. I'm like, okay, that's great, but I asked why you'd be the head of janitorial, not why you'd be a great lounge singer, bro. Like, come on.
Well, he was showing he has very skilled hands. Who better to clean than somebody who can tickle those ivories?
I will say that whole Last Supper type scene was very
It was
well
intense.
done, and the setup with Ruth. Oh man,
I mean, Ruth, as we've already said, has been the best character of the season.
It has been her
Just
season.
Her essential like fall and rise and such, and her basically finally throwing her lot in with Leighton.
Can we talk about after being covered in shit, both Leighton and Ruth's like awesome fucking Rambo moment when she holds the sword and like
Leighton does the hand and arm signals to her about like
full on Stallone like looking down the blade,
She's like, yes.
and then Leighton gives the 3, 2, and she just fucking like warrior
Yeah.
screams and goes
He
in.
goes, one is about to say go, and she's just like, ah!
and he kind of does the eye roll like God damn it and like goes after her.
That was
I
epic.
love Ruth. She had the best character development this whole season, and she was the person that, like, right away we even said, like, oh, we didn't expect her to be, like, full on, like, I am with Snowpiercer, this is my train, my people, from the get-go, but man, did she stay that way.
She did.
I'm still not a fan of Audrey's little fall, whatever that she's done.
I was hoping she was gonna, like, secretly be, like, double agent at the end and be like, Wilfred.
I did seriously think it was going that
But
way.
it's
You
gonna be
weren't
season
alone.
3 because now she's like, fuck you, you really were gonna let me die. And so then it's gonna be
Yeah.
like, yeah, you dumb bitch.
But then we do get redemption. We get some awesome redemption for Ice Woman, the new Icy
Josie.
Bob.
Josie.
I knew her name. I was just calling her. I was making a bad
Secret
joke.
agent, icy woman.
The Icy Bob's replacement. Josie looked like a badass in her X-Men suit.
She did. She was like Kitty priding it up there.
She
and I
was.
like,
She
ah,
was.
queen.
That was an awesome moment where there's the stand. By the way, this whole Leighton Wilford, like every time they see each other, like getting each other's heads, standoff moment is very well played and very well acted by both of them. I mean, Sean Bean being the veteran actor he is, but David Diggs, like with his eyes and just every line he delivers, it's just so good.
Well, I know I mentioned it while we were watching because I actually kind of dug the fact that Leighton, even though he obviously lost power in the train and such and was working shoveling shit and Big Alice and everything, didn't seem to let it bother him. He was just like, yeah, we got a plan. Like we have hope. All he has is fear. And the entire time, like he never seemed down about it. Like and even when Wilford was like trying to like goad him and essentially, torture him, because he kind of said, when he said to Wilford, like, all you have is fear, man. And like, and because the one guard, he kind of looks at Wilford, and Wilford kind of looks at him, and you can tell Wilford is genuinely unsettled by that statement, because he says, like, they don't love you the way you think they do. And when the guy looks at him, that's when you can tell Wilford was kind of like, shit, he's right. Like, he's absolutely right. And that was a great scene right there between the two of them.
Because Leighton got so good at shoveling shit that when Wilford was peddling it to him, he was like, oh, I can just keep scooping.
Yeah.
Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
Oh man. We did get a kind of major death in season 2's finale. We lost Javi.
And also possibly Boki as well.
That was
Possibly Boki.
Death.
Yeah. Very well done though. Very well I mean, the dog eating him maybe is not
We knew it was
dignified.
going to happen, though.
But the way he went out pretty fucking brave, putting his music on and just kind of like jamming at the end, like I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, let me have you one more moment for myself.
Let's talk about the scene up train with Ben in the engine and fighting Wilford's head of security. Oof.
You knew he was in deep shit the moment when he knocked out, and she just literally just kind of adjusted her gloves, like she's gonna whoop his ass.
Oh yeah, she was like, my name is Sykes and this is Psych. Just like knocked him out.
Literally, Ben got saved by the train switching tracks, otherwise he was dead.
Yeah.
Like toast. His whole plan's fucked if that train doesn't change tracks at the
He's
right
lucky
moment.
the train went around that bend.
I actually do wonder something, since Sykes is now with the rest of the train, are they gonna try and turn her?
Oh yeah, of course they are.
I mean, probably, I think anybody, if they're out of Wilford's grasp, will actually be like, yeah, that dude's fucking insane.
Yeah.
We chilling now, though. We chilling.
Also, I kind of felt bad for Kevin, because the dude has been through so much, and he
Kevin
just
was like
keeps-
reprogrammed by Audrey, so you're just like, were you always this way?
Yeah, but just all the other shit, because he's just like, and I slapped her, and Wilford just boom, just like hits him, and is, oh my god, dude.
Well, yeah, he gets bitch slapped by Wilford, kicked in the nuts by Ruthie.
Shocked.
Yeah, and then shocked. Yeah. So just
Oh, Kevin. First, he doesn't get the job because of Ruth.
and then Ruth is just like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not doing
Oh,
your dirty
her
work.
acting was so
Oh,
good. Dude, that whole table thing,
Take off the teal.
the fact that she like pauses and looks and everybody's like, oh my god, like you need to, like, you're gonna make this choice to save your life, right? And then she just like lets a tear drop and she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Not to the train, not to Melanie, not at all. Like, fuck you, Wilford. I was like, yes, Ruth, don't die, but oh my god.
Well, the whole purpose, of that dinner was those were all the people he just wasn't sure about, because it was Ruth, it was Till, it was everybody. So it was just like, that was the moment when he basically was going to push them to say, like, where are you falling? Like, you going to side with me, or are you going to side with Leighton?
I'm just thinking back to what we were talking about earlier with Melanie, and how at the end of season 1, you get this great reveal of Wilford coming through. And again, I think that's why we haven't seen a body. I think they're setting up a huge return for Wilford comes back on train and he gets his train back, and they're setting something up for Melanie to come back and have that
Like the
moment
prodigal son.
when she steps back on the train and being like, this is my train, bitch. And there's, because you still,
I hope it happens during like an all is lost moment where you're like, oh my god, they really lost the train to Wilford, and that she's just like, nah, bitch.
they haven't had their moment yet. The show's too good. The show's way too good not for them to have a moment, like a big
Because
standoff
it wasn't a big
moment.
win moment. It was
No.
an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Which you could argue last season kind of was too, but it was
Yeah.
also like a hype.
I'm very convinced that.
Well, also Leighton and his crew now are armed with the knowledge that there are warm zones on Earth. And they didn't explain like how warm they are, but if they're warming or if they are warm
It
enough
looks
to settle.
pretty fucking warm.
Well, once again, that was just
Also, would
it was just
Melanie be smart enough to reach a warm zone, maybe? We don't know.
well,
They were,
she was
they
in
were
the
like
fucking
Africa,
Rockies.
I know.
yeah.
So-
I have to look at the map again.
It was,
I'd have
it was
to pause
Africa. It was
Yeah,
South
it was-
America.
The places where it's warm now.
Yeah. Well, it's like the end. It's
The
like the
equator.
end of
equator.
what's that stupid fucking movie with
Day
Jake
There Stood
Gyllenhaal?
Still.
Thank you.
I knew
No,
immediately. The day, no, not the day
No.
there. Fuck. Day after tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow.
Oh God!
Right?
Oh my
It's like
God!
everybody has to go to Mexico. Because
Yeah, that's
Note how I
Day
said
After
Day
Tomorrow.
There Stood Still because I still think of Jennifer Connelly. I knew exactly what we were talking about. It's on FX all the fucking
All
or
the
was.
fucking
I've
time.
never
In the
seen
2000s.
I've never seen either movie.
It's
of the
actually
original.
not.
It's not
horrible.
bad. I actually loved it, but
that
it was
with
on
Keanu
FX
Reeves?
so much. Oh, Day There Stood Still?
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking
Yes,
about
that has
Day
Keanu.
After Tomorrow.
Yeah, no, Day After Tomorrow is Dennis Quaid.
Yes, Dennis Quaid, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh God, that
And
movie
that's basically
sucked
it.
so bad.
No, it wasn't horrible.
It was a terrible movie. I'm sorry.
It was fun for the time it came out because you were like, it was the first of the disaster movies like that. So you're like, oh my God.
It's no 2021.
Oh my God, could air really be pulled
can't.
down from the troposphere and freeze everybody in like 2 seconds?
It
Maybe.
happened in Snowpiercer.
I will say my favorite part of this whole episode was when I laughed uncontrollably when Sean Bean said oubliette because immediately, like, you're waiting this whole time. You're like, when is Jennifer Connelly going to reappear? Like, when's Melanie? Like, are they going to get her? Whatever. And then, like, her daughter Alex, he has her, locked up in the brig or whatever. And he's just like, you know what an oubliette is? And I just fucking cracked up because nobody uses the term oubliette unless you're like playing D&D or some shit.
Or you're fucking Wilford, who's
Yeah, exactly.
mentally just bananas.
And I was like, that is a blatant Labyrinth reference. Like, there was no reason to refer to a girl stuck in this, like, thing as an oubliette unless you're joking about the fact that Jennifer Connelly's character falls into an oubliette and is trapped in that, like, little thing with no way out. Like, and that's her daughter. So I was like, maybe that is Jennifer Connelly's last episode. And she's like, you know what? If I'm going out, you better make a fucking Labyrinth reference. Like, oh, that was great.
God. All right, guys. Where do we've now gotten 2 pretty amazing seasons of the show. I would say that there were a couple of middle episodes of season 2 that were a little slower and didn't quite flow as well
That's
as
Audrey's
season
fault.
1. It is Audrey's fault. I will agree with that. Where do we see, we kind of had a good idea of like where this season would go. You can't not have like a power struggle when you have Wilford come back on the train. You just can't have that. But now, my favorite term used in the entire episode, you have the pirate train up against the now
Choo-choo.
big Alice run Snowpiercer. So this a bunch of different things could happen. If they're going to go like full pirate train, you could see them go off on little adventures and find these hot zones before reconnecting with Snowpiercer. There's so many different things that can happen. What do you guys see going on?
There's another pirate train. They get hijacked.
Well, the thing is that if you're looking to do these, they go off on little adventures, then you're kind of taking away from the conflict of Wilford and Leighton and whatnot.
Then it becomes episodic Star Trek. Which bold new land are we going to
Snowpiercer
next?
log 2975.43. We find ourselves in hot zone
Duffy's
3.
at the mic. This is your captain speaking. We had
Oh
some
my God.
turbulence. Shuttlecraft dissipated in the atmosphere. Ions were too high. Anyway.
Oh my God.
I feel like they're going to try and rush back to the train because there's like they got Ruth back there and
That's where all the resources
Zara
are.
couldn't come. Yeah, so it won't be long lived, but who knows if maybe they pick up something else along the way while they're on their way back.
Like a Melanie.
And they're hot rod. Oh God, I wish. But I don't think it would happen right away in the season. It would be like
Yeah,
it's going to build up to like the end of the season. She's like,
I agree
"Come
with
back,
that.
bitches," or a mid-season thing because the mid-season thing in this season was her episode where you're like, oh fuck, and then the rest of it was just like, how did we get to that moment? Oh, she's still fucked.
Yeah, because having the whole thing of her just walking off into the white, I feel like that's, I don't know why. I don't feel like that's her character to do that.
But her monologue, her voice acting is always really good.
Well, that was really
like,
good too,
read to
but I
me.
didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it, and I don't know. And this is why I said I have issues. I just don't know if this is like a bad production choice of the way they killed her off, and she really is dead. And I'm just in denial. But I'm also not as committed to the character say as Brittany is.
It's hard to be in denial when they weren't even in Egypt when it happened.
You're funny, but I just
You're fine.
I'm hoping that it's not just like a bad production choice to kill her off this way, because I think it's a really shitty death. It's like how I felt at the end of season 1 of Picard, how they treated that. Like, that's a shitty way for a beloved character to go out.
She was so hungry that she just kept writing, and it made no sense. It's her
Remember
hallucination. being like,
she
"Blah,
had
blah,
that
blah."
fucking arm.
She did.
Just saying.
I once again, if she goes out that way, if she, the character is truly dead and they never, and you know, Jennifer Connelly's not on the show again and whatever, I would actually consider that a big strike against the show.
Agreed.
Because I mean, you have to do something to show her go out. You know, I mean, once again, I'm fine with killing the character as long as you make it, you know, something worthwhile to witness, not just
Show
like
me the body.
that too, but I mean, not just like, oh yeah, I wandered off, and it's basically like Melanie died going back to her home on her way back to her home planet type shit. That's basically what it is. It is to me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about aliens.
Yeah.
Engineer, engine far,
Yeah,
wherever
no.
you are.
I'm not convinced. So
Yeah. Plus, it was only a few more days after she missed them that it was X'd off. And it's like, it would have been one thing if the daughter would have flipped through and then you would have seen like, oh my God, she went like a whole nother month and then she wrote this.
it's also
You really
like
know?
it's in both their eyes. It's in Leighton's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like he saw the hole with the hot spring. He saw the calendar,
Mm-hmm.
kind of looked at it weird. We're not done with her story. This is a smart fucking TV show. There's a reason.
Too smart.
Listen, I'm gonna kind of,
He's putting his foot down.
No, but I'm going to say something about our podcast. Like, there's a reason that, like, we're one of the only podcasts to cover this show is because it's kind of a dark horse. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's, like, a fantastic fucking piece of television.
And also, we're usually right.
We are usually right about this show.
Unfortunately.
It's true. Yeah.
So,
But I
see.
think for even a casual viewer, it's pretty obvious.
Because when he peeked his head, because there was that hole in the wall that was broken out, he looked in. It looked like there was a trail going
yeah,
into.
that's
glad
what I
I'm
thought
not-
about
yeah.
too.
And that's why I was kind
Yeah.
of like, wait, are they going to follow that trail to see where it goes and all that? So,
Nope, they're going to take her word for it. Her written word
oh,
for it.
she wrote this and she just wandered off into the white. Yeah, we'll take it.
No,
We're
they
fine.
did it just so they could show Rowan Blanchard's awesome acting of her being in so much dismay.
Well, and that makes a later reunion
Yeah.
even sweeter. Like, it's actually a little bit too easy.
It's optimistic.
Well, yeah,
I
it's-
don't like it.
It's too easy for them to have like that reunion at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it so much more sweeter if something magically happens, like you said, mid-season or end of season 3.
And Melanie's like, bitch, you thought I would never desert my
You
daughter.
thawed.
She'll be like, I was
Jesus.
very dehydrated when I wrote that. I forget all of it. But I survived.
Or it could have been something to just throw Wilford off the trail. It's like
in
maybe
case he
somebody
got there
eventually,
first.
somebody gets out here and they work for Wilford. I want them to think I'm
So
dead.
many different good theories. I love it.
Melanie's too smart to die in a dumb way. Well, it's how I feel about example. Westworld, same thing. My favorite character, Elsie, gets killed off in like the second season, and it's in a scene that makes no sense. It's like, why would she walk up to that person like she knows something's up? And it's like, it makes no sense, and then she gets shot and dies. And I'm like, she is literally the engineer who helps like do everything for these robots. Like, she diagnoses them, does everything. So I'm like, why would she be so stupid as to trust this one person? And in a later season, you realize like they can do something where they bring people's personalities back into different things. So then you're just like, oh, they're gonna rebuild her as a robot, right? I hope so, because her death was so fucking stupid and she was so fucking smart.
Well then,
Are we missing anything from the finale? I'm sure we are, but
I'm
it
sure.
was-
I'm
There was
sure
a
we
lot.
are. There was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
The
2
whole
hours
cast-
of television.
The whole cast did a great job, except LJ. Well, I mean, props to the actress for making me hate her.
Yes.
So, like, obviously she's a good actress for making
Oh,
us
the
hate
weird
her.
fucking carnival car.
yeah, that was a little.
That
like,
was
the
definitely
puppet
them just
show.
showing he is unhinged and he is... They
Car
wanted to make it
272.
a lot
He-
like the movie
he
where
wa-
the people in power were like borderline, like, it's not just propaganda, it's like we are psychotic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also did very much dig the line that Leighton said to Wilford. You're just an old white dictator with a
Yep.
train.
Yep.
He's like, and you're the people that froze the world
Yep.
over in the first place.
Although Wilford did kind of throw back, like, well, then we're the ones to like fix it or take care or whatever line he said. He said something back to him that basically made like, well, if we broke it, we're the ones responsible
Right.
for
I'm
taking
like,
care of
okay,
it.
Jan.
All right. Well, it's the last EIP rating of Snowpiercer season 2. I guess he's dead or dying. We're probably not going to see Icy Bob again, so this will be his last rating for
Icy
EIP. Do we want to rate the finale? Or do we want to do just a full season rating right
Well,
now?
we could do a finale rating.
Let's do a finale rating out of
And then
5
do a whole
Icy
thing.
Bobs. Finale rating, Matthew.
obviously it's going to be a 5 out of 5. It's everything a finale dream. I'm actually very glad they did a 2-hour finale because I don't think I would have been able to take it if they had just cut it off at an hour and said next week.
Yeah.
But it's just a 5 out of 5 for me again. But like, it's just so crazy how like, I mean, we trust the show to be as good as it is, and even like we said, even the episodes where we're like, I don't know how to feel about it, it's still better than the rest of television.
Right.
So the fact that this season finale still gave us a oh my god, like but it's so different from last season. Just goes to show. So it's a 5 out of 5, the same way I rated last season, but the difference is I'm heartbroken versus hype.
I'm going to do something very different that we've never done on this show before. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, but I'm also going to give it an asterisk score.
If Melanie is still
Yes.
I'm
I
going
can
to
agree with
say
that.
if Melanie is actually dead and this is the way they went, I'm bringing the score way down and doing a 3.5, but there's an asterisk next to that.
I can agree
So,
with that. I would
think
also
we
do
will
that.
all agree, because then why?
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
So,
Thematically, I
because
get it.
I think that's just like a
Why?
bad production choice, and that
It's a
deserves
waste of Jennifer.
Yeah. So,
How
but
dare you
but
waste Jennifer Connelly?
I'm banking on the fact that we're all probably right and she's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 out of 5. Great finale. This show is just, if you're not watching this, like, get the fuck on it. Like, get on the train.
Now
Hop
rated.
on the
Now
hype
the
train.
season. How do you want to rate the
Yes,
season?
let's rate the season and we'll go the same order, Matt.
So
Out of 5 car 272s.
So I will basically I will give it a 4.9 because once again there were a couple episodes that were a little bit not as good as the rest. You know, a couple, as I said, I don't there's a couple characters I feel like they could be axed from the show, like the LJ character
Literally.
and her boyfriend. Yeah, and,
Oh, that's your conversation axe?
That's going to be Leighton's like new tool. It's like, you're getting the axe.
so 4.9 conversation axes out of 5. But yeah, I mean, as I said, it's damn near a perfect season. There's a couple things I wasn't a huge fan of. Once again, you know, asterisks with the Melanie thing in it as well. But but I still would recommend Snowpiercer. I've been trying to get Heather to watch it. I've been pushing her. I own both seasons on digitally, so I told her, I'm like, you can watch both of them. I got them.
I mean, listen, like Karen, who doesn't watch the show, she was having a blast with the finale. Like, she doesn't even know what's going on. She was like, oh shit, like, this is awesome. I was like, if it wasn't for some of the violence, I think she'd really be into the show. So,
Yeah.
You go, Julian.
okay, I'll go. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Amazing. Great. Not perfect. No season of television ever is.
Yeah.
Maybe Battlestar season 1. I don't know. Maybe.
I have quite a few shows that, like, it's certain seasons have been
Yeah.
perfect television.
4.5 out of 5.
Westworld season 1.
Still haven't watched
This
that.
is so hard for me. I'm going to give it a 5 because even at its worst moments, it's better than anything else on TV right now. And the show is really intelligent and so well written. So even some of the slower episodes, you're just like, wow, the people that wrote this, it's really brilliant. So as much as we hate certain characters like, God, Audrey, but also would the show be as good if she wasn't that traitor to them because of all this?
Right.
Even if we don't buy it, he's fucking psychotic. Look, he did a puppet show to be like, your mom's dead.
That was so
like,
fucking weird.
you know,
also,
his Greatest Showman
also,
shit.
that's like, again, bit of a red herring, right? Like, that could be more foreshadowing that she's really not dead.
Yeah. Well,
So
because
many
they're like,
hints.
we just lost contact. Doesn't mean she's dead.
So many little hints.
Yeah. So, yeah, 5. I think it's just great television. If you're not watching it, you should be watching it. And it's only going to get better. It just, I mean, somehow they made this season as good as season 1. So, holy shit. Like, I did not ever expect that. I was like, I hope, but it is.
One final question. Season 2 or season 1? Which one was better?
This is unfair because season 1, every episode has Jennifer in it. So you can't make me choose.
I can and I will.
Between
Season-
between
but the thing is,
Connolly
I
and
really
Les
love-
Connolly.
I don't think I could, like, Ruth is so good in the season, and then you also get her daughter Alex, and they're like my 2 favorite characters in the show. So those, yes, that's right. More than the lesbian detective, I love these 2 characters. So just for that, season 2, I feel like, you know, Ruth is just so much of a better character. You go back to season 1, and you're like, God damn, Ruth, I fucking hate you. But Jennifer. But then Melanie. Oh, but then, It was a simpler time, season 1. I don't have a choice right now.
That's fair. We can come back to it next week. Matt?
I will give the slight edge to season 2 because of Sean Bean, Ruth the character, upping the stakes, the gamesmanship between Leighton and Melanie and Wilford, you know, for the episodes Melanie was in. It did a very good job establishing a very interesting power dynamic that I wanted to see more of because Wilford brought like a totally different set of challenges to the table rather than we need to figure out how to seize power versus Wilford, who's like, I'll fucking kill anybody who pisses me, because he was going to call half the train.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. I am going to give the slight edge to season 1 because of, and I think Brittany will tell you why.
The season finale?
The season finale. I will say, obviously, bringing Sean Bean into season 2 is just one of the best things they've ever done for this show. Even though it's only 2 seasons long, it feels like longer.
Because the cars are so long.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, that's like that season finale in season 1 kept me up all night afterwards. I don't think this one will.
I was going to say I made my decision.
Well, I mean, technically, it's keeping you up right now.
Season two is what I prefer of the 2. But season finales versus each other, season 1 had the like holy shit season finale versus this one where I'm just like, I guess I'll take it. But yeah, season 2 I think takes it up a notch. In like season 1, you get the premise and like this is the train, this is the type of sci-fi show. This is gonna be post-apocalyptic. It's depressing. Whatever. They're gonna revolt. But season 2 ups that shit.
Yeah.
So like this is not the same show you think it's gonna be, but it still is very much so true to itself that it is the same show. But it evolves in a way that most television ends up forgetting how to.
Yeah.
So
All
season
right, fair.
2.
Yes.
Goddamn, that season 1 finale.
They're already in production of season 3. They even had the thing for it. So
Cannot wait for season 3. We'll be covering that as we do. I really want to talk to some of the people who work on this show. We'll see if we can pull something off for next season.
Even
before it
production
debuts.
design,
Yeah.
just like,
Just get
did you
someone to
build
talk
that
to,
panel
right?
that they broke someone's face into? Let's talk.
Can't wait for season 3. Thank you, Snowpiercer, for another awesome season. Yeah. Talking about new seasons of television, we are now 2 episodes into Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we'll get right into it. Matt, your thoughts on episode 2?
it was another fun episode. It's once again they seem to have nailed the movie quality of these 2 episodes have been essentially movie. I watched it with some coworkers and such during our downtime, and we all dug it. I mean, we all had a great time. Like the action scenes, once again, were very well done. And it's one of those things that I'm very curious about what they're doing with this going forward. Like, what is these people's plan? Like, who is the person that texted the woman and all that? Like, who they steal that stuff from? So, yeah, I'm still all in.
I will say I was less impressed with this episode than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's also because like I don't buy the whole bad guy thing right now, because their whole premise is like, oh, let's unite the world and there shouldn't be barriers or whatever, which is what people that are very pro good things in our world want to do.
Yeah.
And I get that they're, quote, going about it a bad way or whatever. But it's just like, we mentioned this in like the Star Trek Discord that we have, but one of our listeners on there, like, she's from Europe. So like the fact that these bad guys are like this is taking place in like Germany primarily, and that's the Schengen area where you're able to travel throughout all the European Union countries without barriers. You don't even have to show your passport. You just go from country to, like, it makes no sense why they're based there, and they're so like, oh, countries, these barriers and everything. Like, it's so funny because I'm like, obviously an American wrote this show because like anybody else would have been like, yeah, don't have them based there, or
Right.
don't have them like. And their whole, like, was it Flag Crushers or something? It's like some
Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's
a really lame
yeah,
name.
it's a lame
It is.
name. Like, the symbol looks cool and all, but like, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not adding up to me. Where I'm just like, if you want me to believe that these are like, quote, terrorists, or that they're not doing the right thing, I get that they want to revert the world to the blip because things are unfair now that certain people came back and the wrong people are still in power. Blah blah blah. That's cool and all. But I'm really concerned they're walking the line here of like, is this going to be like military propaganda? Is that what you're falling into? Because that's like not what Captain America and like these characters are for. Or are you going to really show what side this is going to be on? Because right now it's just like, it's like they want to be Winter Soldier and show like these are the things that are wrong with government and people in power. But I'm like, can we get there though?
I will say one thing that this episode did that I thought was really good, because I know in the first episode the whole racism thing was kind of hinted at. This episode they seem to go hard
they went
into it,
very
because when he basically was the second Captain America. What was the character's name? I can't think of it. He's in the comics. He apparently was the
U.S. agent?
No,
No,
the,
you
the
mean
black,
the
the
other
black,
guy?
the
Yeah.
black guy who basically said like, I took half your arm in Korea in 1951
Right.
and stuff like that. Like, you made it seem like he whooped his ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that whole thing when he was like, you know what I got for being a hero? I got 30 years in prison and everything for something I didn't do. And I'm just like, damn, like they're going hard
Yeah.
into it.
Well, and even from Sam getting pulled over with Bucky and then
Yeah.
not asking the guy with the metal soldier with the metal arm if he's harassing Sam, asking the black man.
Yeah, I mean, they
or asking Bucky,
And then
is
they
this man
have the
bothering
warrant
you?
for Bucky's arrest anyway, so it's like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you know who he is?
Um,
But that's my other problem with the show is that like they're also like they're picking these themes, but they got to be real careful about how they
Yes.
do them because like this episode to me was more like they went too far with it than the last episode. Because like it's to the point where also people that are watching it don't want to be like this is fantasy to you. These are fantastical characters. Like they can face certain things in our reality. But also, they already are dealing with the fact that, like, Sam gave up the shield so willingly, and they see that happen
Yeah.
with black characters all the time. And now it's like, oh, cool. Now he's being, the police can't even give an Avenger a break, and, like, all these other things. They're just like, this isn't as enjoyable as it should be.
I do think that it did go a little bit overboard with the police on the street because, as was
Like, when it
said,
makes
Bucky
it
had the
unbelievable.
warrant,
Yeah.
and it's like, is he this man bothering you, sir? Like that,
Yeah.
and then find out that he's the guy. That's a little bit over the top, in my opinion.
There's a few things I have wrong with this episode. We'll touch on them more in detail in a little bit. But the other thing is I can't see the girl who's the bad guy
Enfys
right
Nest?
now. Yeah, Enfys Nest. I can't see her as like a bad guy. I
know.
just
and
just
even
can't.
referred to as Robin Hood. So
Yeah.
you're like, they're going to
Like-
end up realizing the bad guys aren't really the
Yeah.
bad guys. The true bad guys are this.
don't know. I don't know about the casting. I don't know how I feel about these flag smasher people. It's just very weird to me right now. I also thought that the beginning of the like the very start of the episode seemed like there was at least like half an hour missing somewhere because the way that Bucky comes in, like, shouldn't have gave up the shield. Like, he's like in the middle of like therapy and like mourning the fact that like he can't tell this dude that he killed his son, and then all of a sudden he's at this Air Force base. Like, how did that fuck? Like,
Yeah, I couldn't tell if there was a time skip or what was going on there.
how did he get there? I thought that was very rushed. I didn't quite like how Sam and Bucky get together at first. Having said that, once they're on the plane,
Well,
with
yeah,
Matt,
once
like,
they're together,
like
it's
Matt,
fun
what
for
you
sure.
said, like they have nailed making this feel like film, which I really do enjoy.
Except for the action scenes.
No,
With the trucks. Because there's very obvious green screens.
Oh,
like when,
okay.
Yeah,
when
but
Bucky's running super speed.
that-
Yeah, but Disney's got that money, though, where I'm like, I get it's a TV show, and any other place I'd let this go. But Disney's got fucking
right,
billions.
right.
Work on it. I'm fine with
I,
it.
I did dig that part though when
The action
they
scenes are really good, though.
when they thought that she was a hostage, and he's like, "Oh, there's a girl," and she just smiled and just
That was
knocks him
great.
right out of the truck.
But the fact that she just stood there and he's like, "Are you okay?" It's like, obviously she's not a hostage. What hostage
Yeah,
acts
so
like
dumb.
this?
I love the bands between Sam and Buck, though. It's
good bants.
so good. It's so good. Oh, just like the constant eyes they're giving each other, and like Bucky just hating Red Wing so much. Oh,
It did get a little bit to the point where, because I mean, like Bucky is being choked to death by somebody, and another dude grabs his arm and like gets right when he gets snapped in half. And he's like, I wish I could have done that. Like it's a little bit
I mean,
like
Bucky don't give a fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. I love the therapy scene with the two of them and the no.
No,
I
the
had
thing
s-
in the trailer is that like it totally looked like he grabbed the like his leg, and I was like, I know this isn't gonna happen, but like that was a good scene where they have to like look each other in the eye and deal with things.
Let's talk about John Walker, U.S. agent.
Goddamn.
Goddamn.
I don't
It's
wanna.
for real. Yeah, I know. The very end of the first episode, right? We all said the same thing. Just want to punch him right in the fucking jaw. This beginning again makes him out to be. This was just an odd production choice for me. Not the fact that they made him out to be someone maybe you could sympathize with because he was forced into this position. Because they go okay, we can sympathize with this guy, and maybe he is just a good guy thrust in an awkward position. But then by the end of the episode, he's being a complete dick asshole
Yeah.
to Sam and Buck.
He's even
now
like
to-
a douche in the Jeep scene.
But to be
Yeah.
fair, though, they were kind of assholes to him.
That's true.
Because when he's like, hop in, guys, we'll give you a ride back. And they're like, no. Because at that point, now it's like, all right, you guys want to be dicks about this, then I'm going to be a dick back to you.
But also, you
I
gotta
can understand
know,
where
taking
you're
on
coming
the mantle
from.
of someone's best friend that they're not going to be okay
Two
with it.
best
I would
friends.
feel weird taking on
Yeah.
the mantle knowing that Sam gave it up, I'd be
Right.
like, "Are you sure you don't want this shield?"
The part about the whole thing with Walker, Mr. Texas Ranger, that I had to make that
Basically.
joke. But the whole part about that thing though that bugged the shit out of me is you see the thing of him throwing the shield and it's just bouncing. I'm like, he doesn't have serum in him,
Well,
does
he
he?
doesn't have any super strength.
So that's what I'm not understanding. Like, how is he able to do this?
Hold on. I'm going all the way back to First Avenger, Captain America, and Howard Stark talking about the shield. And if you got the skill, that thing's made out of a certain weight where you could do that without having.
It's vibranium. It's the
Yeah.
same thing
powers.
Bucky's arms made
So
out of.
it'll hit, but like
It's bouncing
he didn't
perfectly.
have the form. He doesn't have the pizzazz. He tried. Okay, when he jumped on the back of that truck at first, and his friend he threw the shield down so his friend would land
I
safely.
hate
Whatever.
him too. I don't
And
like
he
his
went
friend.
to pull himself up. I'm sorry. You've been in the military how long, and that's how you do a pull-up? I knew you don't have super strength because you would have been up faster, but that was the wimpiest fucking pull-up onto a truck. And there are bad guys up there. You're not going to take your time. Oh, let me pull up slowly so they can kick me in the fucking face. I wish they would.
Steve
I
would have
wish
jumped
they
up.
would.
Steve would have just flown up the truck.
He's shaped like a fucking upside-down Dorito. He would have been like, doink, up in a second, you know? This guy's just like, got his little Nazi straps on and shit. And I'm just like, come on. Come on.
I hate him.
Anyway, we're supposed
fucking
to.
hate him.
Funny enough, I don't when he doesn't have the helmet on, I don't think his face is as punchable. When he has it on, it is very punchable.
So-
Someone also
purpose.
made a really great point. Like, this dude's had 3 different faces already in 2 episodes of the show. The square jaw, like clean cut look at the end of the first episode. Him kind of like
The helmet.
with the helmet and then like the helmet off, and he's still clean shaven but doesn't look as much of a douche. And then he's got like
Get
the
the
5
scruff.
o'clock shadow at the end of the episode. It's like, who is this guy?
I was also wondering, was there a time skip, or was this just like
You cut
the way,
off one head
the way they filmed
and
in
another-
COVID?
I don't understand.
Hydra.
I don't understand like how his first sergeant friend is like basically his sidekick in this.
It's
like,
literally
like who-
he's literally the new Bucky.
I get that, but it's at the same time, it's like who is this dude? Like,
He's
And
a
that
fucking battle
and
star.
that leads me to my big question tonight, because we've already topped these 2 other topics. Why aren't the Avengers being used? Like, the Avengers just fucking saved the world and brought the world back. Like, what's going on? Why is there even an argument between John, Bucky, and Sam about this?
Wanda is currently doing her thing.
Okay, fair.
Is currently doing her thing there. Vision is dead, or also / in the town.
White Vision now.
Doctor Strange is busy dealing with probably Multiverse of Madness upcoming shit in that regard. So Spider-Man is doing his Far From Home crap. So who else you got left? Who are we missing?
Carol?
Hawkeye?
You got
Carol, who's the
Carol.
deadbeat dad nobody will call back.
Carol, Hawkeye, Rhodey, Sam, Buck.
we got
Rhodey has been in it.
I have
though.
a feeling
T'Challa's technically not
their
dead.
big thing they're gonna say is, well, Tony dead and Cap's gone, so what's the point? Blah blah blah. Until somebody takes over, like running the actual team, and that'll be their thing for now. It's like, well, the Avengers, they're taking a break right now, or like we're not sure who's in charge. Blah blah blah.
That's the thing, like have they been disbanded again? Like what? Like how does it go from them?
That's what happens when we get small shows.
To be
before big seasons.
fair though, is that right now it's not like it's basically a group of like 6 people, or was it 8, and now they're down to 7 because apparently guns work on these guys. Like when that guy was like, I'll hold them off, I was like, okay, this should be a pretty decent action scene. He knocks over a telephone pole and then just gets gunned down by like 20 dudes. I'm like,
This is
so it's pretty easy to beat these guys.
This is the other question I want to ask about the Avengers, because we kind of get the Sokovia Accords in Civil War, and there's rules. Those kind of get all thrown out the window because of Endgame, because they time travel and shit happens.
Fuck
and
rules, we're the
fuck
Avengers.
rules. Yeah, but are they too hot of a team? Are they kind of like politically on fire because there's half of the world that's pissed off that like the other half of the world came back? Are they too hot to kind of like be
Or they're
the
like
face?
blaming
Well,
them for the blip, even
yeah.
though they're like, well, this dude Thanos,
Well-
who's from another galaxy.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, if you're talking about why people would be upset, imagine if, you know, the snap happens, not the blip. Jesus Christ,
right.
it still bothers me.
Fucking stupid.
But the snap happens, and let's say you're the president of the United States gets snapped away and everything, and then somebody else gets elected, and then the president comes back. Now there's that power
See,
struggle.
term has ended.
That's actually a really easy thing for me. Like, I'm sorry, if you got snapped away and there's a new president, like you come back, you're just not the president.
Well, what about if you're the CEO of a
That's
company
just
or
because
something
we were
like
hoping
that?
it would happen to Trump. So.
No, I mean, I think that there's like it's a different situation for the private sector and government. Like,
But I could see though where people would be upset because maybe the people that were
It's like, I got promoted while you were gone. I work hard.
yeah, like I got put into your position and now maybe the company is like, well, we really like that guy instead, so you're fired because we can't have two of you in that job. So blah blah blah.
Think of how many people
Yeah.
got remarried or slept with other
Yeah.
people while their spouse is gone.
I really hope this is. I feel like this is the show, and even maybe when it debuts, if it does, it might be one of those ones that's kind of in the bubble. Armor Wars, that these shows kind of touch on this subject a little bit, and we see more of it. Maybe that's what we're going to see with the Flag Smashers, because I think it's really important, and I think they do need to answer somewhere the Avengers question, because it's weird that they haven't been mentioned.
Yeah.
Like,
or they could be like, I know we're teaming up for this, but maybe we need a little more help because we just got our ass whooped. Why don't we call up such and such, number 5?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's with his family.
Professor Hulk.
We don't have
please
many
God,
options
no.
right now. I don't
Oh yeah,
think.
there's fucking Hulk.
There's a lot of fucking.
There's a
well,
lot
I mean,
of
look at
Avengers.
everybody in Endgame, and only like 3 people actually died. So yeah, you have a whole fucking crew.
Yeah.
Well, died / are gone.
Hulk's teaching at MIT or something. That's his job.
But I feel like this is just because the shows are coming out leading up to Phase 4 that we're not
Right.
going to get the
Yes.
answers, and then you'll watch Phase 4, and then you'll be like, oh, this makes the shows much better because it all makes sense now.
Well, and not Nick Fury in Far From Home also kind of answers the question too, because Spidey asked the question that I'm asking, like,
Yep.
why don't you just call the Avengers and like off-world this, that,
Yeah.
the other thing? And I'm like, all right,
yeah.
Well, there you go. Those because Carol's
Yeah.
off-world herself.
maybe fucking Carol.
You may-
Carol's always fucking off-world, running away from her problems.
she's doing galactic threats and everything. She doesn't need to be on Earth.
She's going to be dealing with, like, I lost my best friend / lover to cancer while I was gone. I came back at the end, saw her die, but the daughter was gone, who I care about, Lieutenant Trouble. And now we got issues because she came back and I was gone again. And we both have to mourn, but we haven't talked in 30 years. Fucking Carol.
Anything else we want to touch on with episode 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Oh, I will say one thing. At least U.S. agent, who was this dude, who is Captain America right now or whatever, he's going to be U.S. agent, because why the fuck would his costume look like that, and why would he be called his name? That's who he's going to be. Calm down, people. But
when he gets the shield taken, he'll become
he's,
US agent.
like, accurate the way they're doing it, because the thing is, he's not necessarily a bad guy. We're
No.
just mad because we're used to Captain America, but that's the same thing when he came along. People were like, oh, but Captain America has these lofty ideas and he's symbolic and all this blah, blah, blah. Like, he's a little floaty, mushy shit. He doesn't always really solve problems, but he's the symbol of it. Meanwhile, Super Patriot, U.S. agent, actually solves problems. And he's more pragmatic and, like, straightforward in his approach.
But the
and
day
that's
is
gonna
also
rub
just
people
like
the
a
wrong way.
soldier.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
how he is. He was,
Yeah.
and when they were like, "Oh, would you jump on a grenade?" and he's like, "I have 4 times." And
I like that line
yeah.
a lot, actually.
because I was just like, "Yeah, you don't know anything about him." At the same time, he shouldn't have fucking put on the Captain America outfit and called himself fucking Captain America. But
I thought it was ridiculous though when they're like the
4
first
times, yeah.
3-time Medal of Honor winner. I was like, God damn it, guys, come
he's
on.
always one of those guys.
I'm gonna change what I put for the rating on here. Not out of 5 super soldiers, but out of 5 broken red wings. Sad face. Womp womp.
I'll let you guys go first. I think I went first for Snowpiercer.
I don't know, like a 3. The first episode had me, especially the way it ended, where I'm just like, "Oh, I want to punch this guy so bad." So I was like, "That's like a 4 out of 5." This one was just kind of like, take it or leave it. I'm interested to see more about the bad guys. Like, I hope it's more of a Robin Hood-esque situation. I hope an Enfys Nest goes full Enfys Nest and just fuck shit up. I just want her to wear cool. Well, I mean, she kind of has a face mask, but I want her to put. I just want her to put on the outfit from Star Wars, and maybe it's because I haven't seen her in anything else. But please do something
Indeed.
fucking cool.
Indeed. You want me to go first? I'll go. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I liked it. It was good. I love the cinematic nature of both WandaVision and this show. They're doing a great job. Green screens or not. Brittany's checked out.
Brittany-
For the night.
No,
He's
I'm
just
thinking
chilling on
of
the
Cinnamon
couch.
Toast Crunch because you're like the cinnamon-matic.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
yes, nummy.
So I'll be nicer. I'll go 4 out of 5.
Fair.
I dug, and I really want the character, the second Captain America, the older. I really want him to appear again.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when they showed him like just chuck that box into the wall, I was like, I would love to see this dude just appear and fuck somebody up again.
It reminds me of in Static Shock, like the cartoon show, when he meets two other generations of like electric powered like superheroes before him, and the one dude's like an old dude at the retirement home, and then another dude, and then you find out like they've all fought this certain bad guy, and then like Stack's like, oh well, I'm the new young kid who's like, but they all kind of fight amongst each other, but it's cool. So that's what that reminded me of. I was like, yeah, generations of the camp.
Very good. Well, that does it for this late show edition of Everything is Permitted. We have some fun stuff going on. We don't have Snowpiercer to cover anymore, but we have a great episode and a review special coming next week. We are going to bring back Are You Still Watching with the new animated series on Amazon Prime, Invincible, which was our buddy Rob McCavity's idea.
And Steven Yeun is in it, and a bunch of really awesome voice actors.
So we're going to do that, and obviously we'll have our episode 3 review of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then our review special of Godzilla vs. Kong. Can't wait.
Put your predictions. Well, actually, put your predictions in who's going to win, even though
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mechagodzilla.
Watch. Oh my god, I almost said Mumra. That's not the right one.
Wow,
It's a deep cut.
that's a reference right there.
You good?
I don't know.
Should I just?
Her brain stopping.
Mothra. There we
Mothra.
go. Mothra's going to appear and be like.
All right, folks. Well, the sugar is starting to wear down, and I see sleepy, droopy eyes. We're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Snowpiercer Season 2, for a great season of television. We'll see you next week on a fresh episode of Everything is Permitted. Have a good night.
You can find Everything is Permitted on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Everything is Permitted is produced by Rob Migliaccio, Nikki Veazey, and Geneva Stein-Shivers. Our executive producers are Michael Cox, Brittany Tomes and the Tomes family, and Julian Brown.